I'm a huge fan of conspiracy theories, and it's always good when you get the chance to sit down and go, oh boy, it's probably going to happen. We have one such conspiracy kind of running around at the moment because certain release dates were pushed up, and, well, when something like that happens, there's usually a pretty big elephant in the room. And, I mean, that elephant's probably pretty giant size. So, we're going to talk about speculative ban list release day based on some trends that we've seen going on some pages. Alright, guys, let's dig into this discussion, shall we? April 2nd. Now, you're probably thinking, why does the fat man think there's going to be a ban list on April 2nd? Well, Konami has actually kind of given us this hint to ourselves. If not, it will be the 3rd. So if you've kind of been paying attention over the last couple of days, you've probably noticed there was a little bit of discussion going on with the release date being pushed up for Duel Power. And I was pretty shocked to see that they actually pushed up Duel Power as well, because I figured they were going to keep this in the actual window that they were. And the official tournament store launch date is 4/2/2019, and then launch date itself is 4/3. And then you kind of mosey on over to the ban list page, and you're like, oh yeah, like no sooner than April, and then you notice something on the page. And you know what you notice on that page? The next update will be no sooner than April 2nd, 2019. Conspiracy theory time, ladies and gentlemen. We've noticed in the past with trends like this, you have a reprint set coming out of left field over here. And you have a ban list going hand in hand with this. I wonder what's going to get unbanned that's getting a reprint. I'm just wondering. So, one thing that I know that the biggest conspiracy theorist on this video is going to be like, well, new ban list, they're going to try to sync us up with the OCG, and I don't want to say these words, it pains me so much, but somebody's going to think that we're going to get Harpy's Feather Duster unbanned. And, really every single fucking time we have this discussion about Harpy's Feather Duster, I cringe on the inside because I'm like, no, we're not going to unban Feather Duster. Come on, guys. Seriously. Like, okay, so the devil's advocate in me says, I would love to have Feather Duster back. I hate all these back row heavy decks, but at the same time, I'm a little happy boy playing my set 5 back row and go decks. But when you oppress, or when you release something this oppressive in the game, you have to ask yourself, are we doing something wrong here? Because when you look at the OCG, you see Feather Duster 95% of the time in the side deck. I get it's an auto negate when you're playing solid, sure. But when I look at a format like what we're in right now, yes, Feather Duster would probably check Sky Striker. Yes, being able to resolve a said Feather Duster against multi-roll the back row when your opponent doesn't have a Solemn or something. I don't know why they're playing Judgment in this format, but okay. Being able to devastatively wipe out that back row would equalize a lot of the qualms that I hear in the game at the moment. Okay, so there's that. But is reprinting Feather Duster for the umpteenth thousand time logical? I ask you guys because it's like, I don't know what else they could actually want to reprint in a set that would make people go, oh shit, I need to go buy that set right now. Like, oh, like this is the time, you know what I mean? Like, and I was also looking at this, and I've heard a lot of people talk about Spellbook of Judgment coming back, and I hate to say it, okay, so granted, the level of play that Spellbook has in the current format is a little bit inferior to the generalized power that we have with Sky Striker at the moment. But when I look at a selling point on a set, I'm like, oh boy, Spellbook of Judgment gets the reprint gets its third printing. You know, is everybody going to want to run out, buy this set, and go, oh boy, I can play this? I don't know. It's a strange one, because even with Spellbook of Judgment at 1, I'm just kind of like, you know, does this really push the deck? I don't think so. I think that this is just kind of on the back burner for the most part. But you have to look at the fundamentals of what's currently banned. What could really make somebody jump for joy? Oh, that's right. There's nothing on this entire ban list that just sticks out to me and goes, oh boy, oh, Dragon Rulers. Oh my god. I forgot about Johnny, Timmy, Larry, and the Hobo. Alright, so those can be in any order in which you expect them to be. But we have Tempest unrestricted at 1 in Japan. I think it's the only free Dragon Roller at the moment. I'm pretty sure the other 3 are locked up somewhere far in a corner. And everybody in the TCG is always like, oh my god, like, bring back the Dragon Rollers, bring them back, like, let us have them around. Do you guys understand the catastrophic effects of allowing the Dragon Rollers to run around in a format? I don't think that we're going to see the Dragon Rulers come back. I think that that's just kind of out there. Now, I've also heard somebody jokingly say that we could sell an entire product based on unbanning Firewall Dragon. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think that this is one of the dumbest predictions that I've seen. And I guess reprinting an alternate art Firewall Dragon to unban the set could potentially push something in the right direction. But when you look at the fundamentals of the set, you're just like, why? Like, why do I want to go buy that when I already have my Firewall Dragon, you know, sitting over here in a corner ready to go? You know, that part just doesn't make sense to me as a player, because honestly, it's like, I don't know. Like, my intent with making this video was just to say, like, hey, you know, we have conspiracy theory going around, and on top of the other conspiracy theory, we've got everybody over here doing fucking math on the walls, and they're like, oh, this was my other favorite. Oh, everybody said we can move Max C back off the list. Really? We're not doing this. Every time we have this discussion about Max C, the Max C could probably sell product, and I believe they were talking about hand traps in here. But we're not doing this one Max C shit again, alright? We're either going 3 or we're going 0. But the problem is, there was a discussion post on the internet about Max C, and I did want to cover this at some point. It talks about how Max C is so oppressive that it does hurt deck creativity. But so many people are like, no, Max C balances the format. It does balance, but it imbalances at the same time. And anybody that has played the game will know that. But that's an argument for another day. But I do see Max C being a potential seller of a set, as weird as that actually is. He could do some really weird things. Now, we got to talk about Old Dang Long over here as well, because I hate this card with a passion. I think the potential that this card grants to fucking Zephyra and what he does as a whole is ridiculous. But if we were to see Danglong come back, we could see the old Long Shlong fucking actually bring Zephyra to the table. His existence does grant one whole extra deck into the competitive metagame. In terms of diversity and things like that, yes, sure. If we're going to keep Salad unbanned over here, I think we can bring Danglong back in the sense of having a generic monster that Zephyra has access to. As fair. I'll accept that. Having one more deck sitting at the table for players to play, absolutely. I'm fine with that. But I don't like what the card does. I don't like these negate boards that these types of decks bring up. But, you know, that's all within the grand scheme of things. As April 2nd approaches, I'm going to pop this question to you guys. You know, we took a small chunk of time here. We looked at some cards that I thought were worth talking about for potential unbans and things like that. But what do you think can get unbanned that will sell this set? You know, what big spectacular thing do you think can come out of the woodwork and go, oh fucking shit, like this is the time. This is how we do this. I don't think of anything too spectacular, but you know, there are things out there. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. And well, I guess April 2nd or 3rd will probably be the day. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.